Move on here. We have the real Mr. Meatball. Could you date someone substantially smarter than you?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
hope to date somebody smarter than me because I need
have
to
a-
learn some things.
If they have high
don't know.
EQ too, like they have to be smart, but also very understand how to talk to people and
They have to be
socially.
they have to
Like
be
not like
humble
pretentious
and
about it, but like
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
dated
it'd
a
be nice
couple
to
of
learn
men
from
who are in the genius IQ range, and I found that it actually turned out to be quite difficult for me.
It
So
is.
I
Like, they
I
don't
like
have
when
the
a man is
social-
intelligent and smarter than me in areas that I'm not so capable. But I think I've learned from either is actually like a threshold
Yeah.
where it's like it doesn't work for me.
I guess it's just about like complimenting like the areas where you each aren't. I say like I'd obviously rather date a man that's smarter than not. I've like dated guys where like even just talking about like different IQ levels or like I don't know like study habits, things like that. Like it's one of those things again where what's the word, high whatever, it's like
Hypergamy?
hypergamy. Yeah, like I feel like it's the same thing with intelligence. Like I want somebody that like I can actually learn from and grow, but I also want them to be able to like grow and learn from me in the same ways as well. Instead of me feeling like I'm dragging them along because they're like, you know, they don't want to try or they just
right,
it doesn't click.
like that's their peak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I've dated guys where it's like I'm like looking to get a little bit more out of them, and I'm like, oh, like that's it, like that's kind of where it stops.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jake from Rattlesnake TV, would you date a woman who's stupider than you?
Well, of course I would.
Of course.
Yeah.
They're all.
I'd be much more hesitant to date a woman that's smarter than me. Yeah, I'd rather date a woman who's more stupid than me.
No way.
Absolutely.
Why?
Wait, you'd rather date a woman who's smarter
Is that
than
what
you?
you think?
No,
you
I'd rather
deserve?
date a woman who's less smart
Oh,
than me.
okay.
Why do you think
I mean,
you deserve that?
That
Like,
doesn't
you-
mean
What-
that
what do you
they're,
mean deserve?
Dumb.
Like I don't know. Like what do you mean by that though? Like can you elaborate on that? Like
What specifically do you want to know? I think that like,
How do you know
Oh.
that they're
like is it
smarter
like
than
a
you?
well, you can tell. I mean, you have exchanges with them, and you
Okay.
can see who gets the upper hand, and then you have to sort of go easy on them.
but like
sometimes.
is it like wanting to like be like the I don't know how to what's the word for it? Like
Are you asking if I
like
want
the
to?
power trip type of vibe? Like, all right, I'm gonna always know
Well,
better than
you don't
anyways.
want somebody who's always going to be constantly like challenging you on absolutely everything
Is
because
that like
it's
pretentious or like what is it? Is that the right word? I don't know. Like,
so
maybe, like
we like somebody like me, like I've got a business that I run and I'm constantly challenged by everything around me all the time. So when I get home, I want tenderness and love. And if someone who wants to help me with whatever endeavors I'm doing, then that's fine. But I don't want to get home and have somebody who just wants to argue with me, challenge me, and all these sorts of things. And I don't want somebody, yeah. So
Like I think it's important to be able to have intellectual conversations, but
definitely.
also
I said before,
Yeah,
I like
that shit's
smart
overrated.
girls. Yeah.
yeah, no
think
no one needs a
that
brain
shit's
anymore,
overrated.
honestly.
You know,
I think one day you're going to be old and like you're going to be grey and old and you're going to want to talk about something with someone, and like some of the common misconceptions that like a lot of guys say that they want a girl who's just going to sit there and shut up and be quiet, and I personally don't think that. I think that like you want somebody who can have a conversation with you.
And dumber than you doesn't mean dumb or stupid in general.
yeah, I feel like you maybe worded it differently, but I get what you're saying more now that you explained it a little bit.
So someone who's less
A
smart
little
than me, I'd
bit
be
of
cool
an
with that.
intelligence gap. A
Yes.
small intelligence gap.
Yes.
I don't even know if it's
I
like
think
an intelligence gap. but
Stupid women are
it's
really
more of
hot.
Like,
like a girl who's just dumb
It's
as bricks.
bimbo feminism,
just
baby.
kinda
Bimbo
fucking hot.
feminism.
Just somebody
They-
that's like
so
a
they-
Brian,
I
you're gonna
can't
be the
say
victim
they're
to the
not.
bimbo feminism. They're gonna
Huh?
go for guys like you.
What do you mean?
The
Huh?
bimbo feminism?
What do you mean?
Were you here for that part?
Like I'll
gonna
date, I'll end
demolish
up
you.
dating a bimbo.
no, like there's
feminist?
like
I
that
mean,
tier of
you're falling right into the
that
trap.
are like that I don't know how.
that are
They're
like
like, the
bimbos.
Paris Hilton personality.
I love women like that though.
No.
I think they're great.
I think they're funny.
They're
but-
fun.
they're
I
funny.
think. I mean.
You know what I mean?
I think
Brian,
they're
you're,
great.
I think you're afraid if they're too smart, they're gonna start critiquing your outfit too much.
If they're too smart,
If they're too
they're gonna
smart.
critique my.
Yeah.
No, I feel like high IQ people probably don't give a shit about how you dress. It's you could actually make the
Yeah.
opposite argument that like super high IQ women are like not super concerned with
Could care less.
materialistic
That's
Sure,
true.
you
shit.
can absolutely
Yeah, I
make
would
that
Like you could
I would
argue
agree
like
with
really
that.
like low IQ women are like really obsessed with vanity. So,
That's
um,
true.
but
Because there's not much
Well,
more
they-
depth to them
you-
after
but
that.
when I say like a dumb like a stupid. By the way, I'm kind of being facetious, but not like a dumb woman that's gonna like fuck up your life, but like a simple woman, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
So not,
It's just
not
like
very much
simple.
depth.
Like an airhead.
Because like sometimes being hyper intelligent comes with neuroticism. So it's like, you know, they're just, because like if you're kind of ignorance is bliss type of shit, like if you're super smart and you're just thinking about like, man, poverty.
all the time. Like,
I'm just like, bro, okay. Oh my God, the
so
world.
we all
That might
basically
be me.
want a balance.
I really
we
was-
just want.
I really was going
little
to the
bit
airport
niche.
looking at people thinking if there was an apocalypse right now, who would die first? So I mean,
What? Wait, what?
I was I'm thinking about how you're like, you want someone who doesn't, you know, they're just sitting there thinking about like, oh, poverty. Like I was sitting there in the airport thinking like, I wonder like, I'm like, oh, that lady would definitely die first if like zombies took over right now. Is that what you mean? Like just thinking about like,
Well, like there's like stupid where they make mistakes and they fuck up, you know?
in
You don't
what
want
way?
that.
What kind of mistakes?
And then the what's the other? tier?
And like you mean the sweet spot of stupidity? Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah, there's like a sweet spot to it for
Okay.
sure.
It depends on the personality as well. Like I'm somebody who's a big communicator. Like I'm traveling with my brother. We work together. He's a terrible communicator. Internalizes everything. So I find that very frustrating. So if I ever had a wife, then I would need her to be a good communicator. And I find that's a form of intelligence that I would personally need. Whereas other people, like my brother, for example, he wouldn't care at all about that. Like, you know, he's a very creative, smart, but like not necessarily like somebody who needs to communicate. So
we
different
have
strokes.
we have here Dawn A